Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. My name is FPL Meerkat and today I've got my Game Week 24 team selection for you guys. But before I get into that, let's have a look at how the team did in Game Week 23. It was a really solid game week, to be honest. 81 points, giving me a really nice green arrow. Not quite in the top 100k just yet, but about 106k overall. So really closing in on that top 100k. Lots of players getting the massive hauls, and I was lucky enough to have 3 of them in the team. Alex Moreno, the mega differential, coming in there with 14 points in that 5-0 thrashing at the hands of Villa against Sheffield United. Watkins with an 18-pointer as well. Thank goodness I didn't sell him. But yeah, maybe in hindsight should have thought about giving him the armband. And of course, Phil Foden with a 20-pointer, who was on quite a few people's benches that I saw this game week. So yeah, very fortunate there that I got some massive scores. Blanks from the rest of the defense there. I did bring in Gordon. That was for Bowen, who happened to blank. Gordon did outscore him. He unfortunately went off injured, though. I'm not going to really beat myself up too much about that. Was probably a poor decision, but just because he got injured at half-time. Newcastle scored 4 goals in that game against Luton. Crazy game that was, by the way. And he could have easily got another return in the second half if he hadn't picked that up. And it looks like he's not going to be fit for... he's not going to be fit for Game Week 25. So 24, sorry. So that's going to sort out a bit of a benching headache that I might have. Saka getting the 9-pointer there as well. De Bruyne with 5. And also blanks from Alvarez and Jota. So yeah, a pretty all-round great game week, to be honest. A nice green arrow there. And yeah, if only I got the captaincy decision right, it would have been a really high-scoring game week. I didn't have the likes of Richarlison and Cunha as well, with 2 fairly well-owned. Wow, Richarlison's pretty decently owned at Palmer as well, another highly owned asset who did return nicely, and I wasn't punished by Haaland. He did start the Brentford game, but as I predicted, he was marked out the game by 2 centre-backs and he didn't really get much of a chance to score. All the chances fell to Foden. I didn't think about that, but I did think Haaland would struggle, and yeah, I am going to have to think about how I'm going to get Haaland back into my team. Moving on to how the Game Week 24 team is looking. I am recording this on Friday evening, so you will hopefully see this before the deadline. I haven't made a move as of yet. I have been tampering with a wildcard this entire week, to be honest. I will try and flash up a wildcard draft on screen for you guys, but as of Friday evening, I'm about 85% sure I'm not going to be wildcarding. I really like the look of the wildcard. I really do think it's a good strategy. If you want to activate the wildcard for this game week, you can load up on the likes of the Luton assets with the Sheffield United fixture and with a double coming up. You've also got Bournemouth ones to consider. They do blank potentially in Game Week 29, but they do have a fixture in the blank of 26 and a really good double of Sheffield at home and Luton at home in Game Week 28. And if you want to mess around with your triple ups on City and Liverpool, the reason why I'm not going to be wildcarding is just because the team looks all right. The team does look all right for these upcoming doubles, blanks and such. So I think I'm going to hold it for a little bit longer. I don't know when exactly I'm going to use the wildcard. And also I don't have a free hit chip. I did foolishly use that earlier on in the season. So I do think that wildcard's going to become very important to me. The reason why I wanted a wildcard is just potentially if Salah was back and obviously Haaland isn't in the team. So there is a couple ways I can get Haaland back into the team. The most obvious one is selling Alvarez up to Haaland and then getting rid of De Bruyne. That gives me just about enough money to get him back. I could also get rid of Saka and downgrade as low as possible. But yeah, it's a little bit tricky to get Haaland in. So what I'm hoping for is that we get early team news once again about the City lineup. It is going to be the early kickoff, so it's very likely we'll get early team news. And if Alvarez is starting, I'm just going to roll with that triple up on City. And I'm going to go for Darwin. I really want Darwin in the team. Archer will be going to Darwin, and I'm just going to commit to not having Haaland unless I wildcard in 25. although I'm not too keen on that either because it means I can't triple captain in that game week if I do wildcard. But yeah, the rest of the team's looking really nice. Trent with the home fixture at Burnley. I'm hoping he gets the minutes in that one, but yeah, it looks super, super good on paper. Moreno with the home fixture against United. Not really too sure how to think about that one, but Moreno has been an excellent asset so far. I am currently starting him over Porro, just because I think it's more likely that Spurs lose their clean sheet to Brighton. And also Moreno just seems to be really in there for attacking returns. Digne does seem to be on the way back. I don't think he'll be fit for Game Week 24, so I will have another week of Moreno being nailed. I do need one more at least out of him in the double game week because it is a nice fixture, Fulham away. But yeah, he's been a really good servant so far. He's got plenty of points. I was worried that he was a poor transfer in, but the risk has really paid off, especially last game week. I was really, really happy with his returns. Ben White still in the team again. Wish it was Gabriel. Wish I was saving a little bit of money in that position, but still a nice fixture away to West Ham. Again, I think I am going to play him over Porro. Gordon obviously is going to be injured, so that's why I'm bringing in Darwin, is to replace Gordon in the lineup, and the captaincy is on Jota. I'm fairly confident in going for that. Maybe I might change my mind if we get something in the early team news for Man City. I'm not really too sure what could give me the confidence to do that. I don't really like backing the early kickoff as well. But yeah, I think the home fixture against Burnley, I think Liverpool are going to really bounce back. And this is one of the final weeks I think we'll get where Jota is going to be perfectly nailed. Even if I bring in Darwin, I think I'm going to captain Jota over him. I know Darwin seems to be on penalties, but Jota just seems to be in such excellent form right now. And I have done a bit of analysis into the Burnley fixture, and I do think that Jota's positioning does favour the fixture a little bit more than Darwin's does. And of course, Darwin's shooting has been a bit questionable. And also he's just coming back from injury. So there is just a slight doubt that he might be on the bench for this one. But yeah, so Jota is going to be the captain for the game week unless I bring in Haaland. Now, the only ways I'd bring in Haaland, there's a good one to bring in Haaland, is if we get news that De Bruyne is benched. If De Bruyne's benched, I could downgrade him and then upgrade potentially Watkins or Alvarez up to Haaland. It would mean losing a City asset potentially, but it would mean covering myself from the big Norwegian who can decimate my rank at any given time. I'm also a little scared of Parma this week as well, with the away fixture to Palace. Does look like a really good one on paper, given how poor Palace have been recently and how decimated their squad is at the moment. So I'm a little bit worried about that. And Richarlison as well at home to Brighton. It is another game week where lots of these players could haul against me. If I was wildcarding, I think I showed it hopefully on screen, I would actually include Richarlison in the draft. I would have 5 players blanking in game week 26. That would be Van Dijk, Jota. I do think Van Dijk's better than Trent at the moment also, just because Trent's minutes are a little bit questionable and I don't know if the attacking potential outweighs that. I'd much rather go for Van Dijk, who's also got attacking threat on corners, scoring from those, and nailed on for minutes, just completely nailed on for the minutes. Saka as well in the team looks nice with the away fixture to West Ham. That was another reason why I might not wildcard, is that I would be getting rid of both of the Arsenal assets there, just because I'd be favouring players that double and also players that play in game week 29, which seems to be the big one, which is also a good reason to save the wildcard, because we don't know for certain which teams are playing in game week 29. I can make an all right team for game week 29 whilst maximising the doubles. And to be honest, I wouldn't worry too much about game week 29, just because with the fixtures we've currently got, it doesn't really look like it's going to be a very high scoring game week. And if you have, let's say, Son, Richarlison, Bowen, Tony, Watkins, you have those 5, I think you're fine. I think you'll be absolutely fine in that game week. Those would be the big threats to your rank. If you have all 5 of them, then there's no point worrying. Even if it is just those 5, I think you'll be fine and escape a glaringly big red arrow. I think it's going to be a small scoring game week anyway. But yeah, this is how the team looks. I could just play Porro and bench Gordon and then roll the transfer. I just think Darwin's a really good choice for this Burnley at home fixture, but not good enough for me to captain him. The captaincy, I think, is definitely going to be, it's probably going to be on Jota. I will confirm, obviously, on Twitter at 11 o'clock, hopefully. Moving on to the mini league team of the game week, 100 points exactly is a really satisfying score to see here from Calum. With a lovely, lovely score. Like I said, I had 3 of the players that hauled. Calum actually had 4, but unfortunately one of them was on the bench with Gross getting 11. And the Trippier captaincy, really, really nice. Obviously not quite as good as the Watkins captaincy, but Trippier for the the home fixture to Luton. Amazing how Trippier got no bonus, no clean sheet, but came away with 9 points as a defender. Is pretty, and conceded 4 goals, but came away with 9 points. Absolutely incredible. Martinez getting a clean sheet, really nice in a game week which was very, very slim for clean sheets. It was actually the highest scoring Premier League weekend there's ever been, with 45 goals. Haaland in the team there as well. Palmer getting a return. Richarlison was one of the haulers. And yeah, 100 points is always a really, really satisfying score to see. So really well done to you, Calum. And just looking at the leaderboard, I don't think it's really changed that much. I think, no, Harvey was in the top 10 this game week. So he has extended his lead a little bit more. But if you see there, if any of those players with 1 gold medal and 1 silver medal win one of the game weeks for any week, they will rise to first place. So it is heating up a little bit there. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Sorry this video is so late. I've not really been able to get around to making this video. I've been theorizing a lot about making a wildcard draft. I'm very, very likely not going to wildcard, but if I for some reason decide to pull the trigger, it will hopefully be that team that I flashed up on screen. I do think the wildcard is a viable strategy this game week, but given how I'm actually ranked very nicely this season, and it's been quite a while since it's been a very, very nice rank, I think about 100k, I'm going to play it a little bit safer and just protect the rank for a little bit, and then maybe play risky more towards the end of the season. I think just going too heavily now might backfire on me massively. And also, like I said, the team looks pretty good anyway. The wildcard I don't think drastically improves the side. I think it definitely does. And it sorts me better for the other game weeks coming up. But right now, for this game week, the team looks fine. So I'm probably not going to be wildcarding. Probably. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you made it this far, and get down in the comments who your captain is going to be this game week. I imagine most of you are going to be captaining Haaland, and I'm just going to be sitting here praying that either A, he doesn't start, or that B, he blanks. But I hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next FPL video.